Hi friends, my name is Aqil Ahmed, and in this particular video tutorial I will show you how to export data to multiple CSV files using SSIS. So recently I got a question from one of my subscriber Prajakta, and she had a question like she has a table, and in the table she has three columns: file ID, file name and the file content. So she want to export the file content into the respective file names according to the file ID. So she said that she want to pass the file ID as an input parameter. So for example, if she pass the file ID as 1, so she want to export all the file IDs greater than that particular value. So suppose if she will pass the file ID as 1 greater than 1, so she want to export the abc.txt, then the second file, then the third file. So we want to export the data like where ID is greater than or equal to, okay. And suppose if we will pass the file ID as 2, then the rest two files will be exported, okay. So this is how it will be exported. So what I did, actually I created a my data table and I can insert 4 records here, okay. So if I show you the data now, so my table contains the file ID as 1 and the file name will be abc. So if file abc.txt will be created and the contents will be inserted as hi, this is first file, and if I pass the value as file ID 2, then the three files should be created like def.txt, ghi.txt and jkl.txt, and the first file def.txt should contain the content as hello, this is second file, and the ghi.txt should contain the content as this is going to be third file, and the jkl.txt should contain the content as this will become the fourth file. So this is the file content, this is the file name, and this is the file ID, okay. And we will fetch the data where the file ID is greater than equal to that particular file, okay. So what I will do, I will select the file name from this table, select file name from my data where file ID is greater than equal to a particular ID. Suppose if I pass the 1, then it should export the data for all the 4 files, okay. So this is how it will work. So let me open the SSIS package. This is my blank SSIS package that I will be using today. Because we want to look through multiple records in a SQL Server table, then we will be using a for each loop container with edu enumerator, okay. So we need to declare some variables here. So the first variable that I will declare is the ID. So I will pass some value to the ID. According to the values to this particular input parameter, the data will be exported. So the second variable that I will declare will be the file name. So the data type will be string for this particular variable, and initial value I can provide as abc. Now the third variable that I will declare is obj file name, and it will be of type object. And the fourth variable that I will declare is the SQL query, and this will actually contain the SQL query that we will run on the SQL Server table to read the file content, okay. In this particular query we will actually select the data from the my data table. We can write a select query here to select the file content from the my data table. So I can select the file content column according to the file name, where file name equal to the some value, okay. So I can copy this value from here, and then I can maximize this one, put a double quote, paste the query and the double quote, and now under the file name we can get the value from the file name SSIS variable, okay. So I can just map the file name SSIS variable here. So now what it will do, according to the file name provided, it will select the file content from the my data table. So I can click on evaluate expression. So this is good, so I can click on OK. So we have declared all the 4 variables here. Now the first task in the SSIS package will be the execute SQL task, in which we will select the file names to be exported, okay. So we will be exporting the data to these files, and this one value, this will come from the SSIS variable, okay. So I can call this one as get file names to be exported, and then I can just right click and configure this one. I can make a connection to the work database because our tables exist in the work database. And now because we want to pass the value of the file ID, so thus we can copy this query from here, and we need to write the code in the expression, because if you want to use the variables, then we can't use the SQL statement here. So we can go to the expressions, and under SQL statement source I can write my SQL query here. So I can put a double quote, I can paste the query and the double quote. Now instead of this hard coded one value, we can get the value from the id variable. So I can just drag and drop the id variable into this particular location, into the 2+ sign, and because this is the integer variable and all rest of the code is in the text, so we need to convert the id into the text. So we can use the typecast function from here, and I can just drag and drop the dt_wstr here, and I can change the length to 20. Okay, if you click on evaluate expression, so this code seems good, and I can click on OK, and because it will return more than one record, so we can change the result set to the full result set, and under result set we can add a result set name, and the initial name will be 0, and we can select the object variable here because it will return more than one value. So I can click on OK. So now we can just drag and drop the for each loop container into the control flow window, and then we can connect the execute SQL task with the for each loop container, and now we can configure the for each loop container. So we can go to the collection, and now under enumerator we will select the ADO enumerator, and under ADO object variable we will select the object variable here, and then under variable mapping we will select the file name, because during the iteration of the loop one file name value will be assigned to the file name SSIS variable at a time. So I can click on OK. Now because we want to export the data, so we can use the data flow task here, and now inside the data flow task, because we want to read the data from a SQL Server table, so we can use the OLEDB source here. Now under OLEDB source we can make a connection to the work database, so the connection is automatically selected as it is the only connection in the SSIS package. Now from the data access mode we will use the SQL command from variable, and then we can select the SQL query here. So it will actually select the file content from the SQL Server table according to the input variable as file name. Okay, so I can go to the column, so it will select one column file content from the SQL Server table, and I can click on OK. Now I can just drag and drop the flat file destination, and I can connect the OLEDB source with the flat file destination. Now here we need to make a flat file connection so that it can generate a CSV file. So I can click on new, and I can click on delimited. So I can click on OK. I can call the flat file connection manager maybe as flat file, and then I can go back to the D files location, because at this particular location I want to generate the files too. So initially I can maybe write a file here abc.txt. So as you can see, this file is empty as of now. Now I can go back to the SSIS package, and then I can simply browse this file abc.txt. This is the initial file that will be generated. When the package will run, it will generate the files automatically. If you go to the advanced, then you can see that file content column has been added, and the data type is text stream, so it can have multiple data in a stream format. So I can click on OK, and I can go to the mapping, so only one column will be exported to the flat file. So I can click on OK. So as of now both the connections, the OLEDB connection and the flat file connections, are hard coded. So we need to make the flat file connection as dynamic, because when the loop will iterate, so it should point to the new file according to the file name. So what I can do, I can go to the properties of the flat file, and if you see here, the connection string property contains the actual file name. Okay, it contains the file path with the file name. So what we need to do, we need to assign the connection string dynamically. So I can go to the expressions here, and I can click on these three dots. There is a property connection string that we can assign dynamically. So what I can do, I can put a double quote here, d:\files. So in the expressions, if you need to use a 1 backslash, then you need to write 2 backslash. Okay, and now I can write files, and here we need to use the file name. So what we can do, we can put a double quote plus double quote and the double quote, and now between the 2+ signs we can just drag and drop the file name here. Okay, and if I click on evaluate expression, then I can see abc here, and I want to call my file as abc.txt. Okay, so now this file abc.txt will be created. So this value abc is coming from the file name, and whatever file name will come from the SQL Server table, that particular file will be created on the disk. So I can click on OK. Okay, so now our package is ready, and the initial value to the file ID we have passed as 0. So now what will happen, that it will select all the data from the my data table where the file name is greater than 0. So it will generate 4 files: abc.txt, def.txt, ghi.txt, jkl.txt, and the data to these files will be populated from file content. Like the abc will contain the data that hi, this is first file, def will contain the data that hello, this is second file, and so on. So I can go back to the d files location, and at the moment we have only one file, abc.txt, which is empty as of now. So I can execute my SSIS package and it should export the data to multiple files. So you can see that the package ran fine. So if I go back to the d files location, then you can see that 4 txt files got created here. This is the first txt file, abc.txt, and if I open this one, so you can see that this is the content from the SQL Server table, that hi, this is first file. And if you open the second file, def, so this is the content, like hi, this is second file, and then this is the third file, okay, and this is the fourth one. So this contains the data from the SQL Server table. So let me just remove all the files from here. Now if I go back to the SQL Server table, and suppose if I pass the value as 3, then it should generate 2 files. So I can pass the value as 3 here. So now you can see that it will export the data to 2 txt files, okay. So I can go back to the SSIS package, and then under the file ID I can pass a value 3 here, okay. And now let me execute the SSIS package again. So the package ran fine and it generated only 2 txt files like this one. So I think this is what we wanted, that we want to just generate the data from a SQL Server table and want to create the txt file dynamically. So I think that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you like the video, then please click the like button. Do subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and click on all so that you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much.